Hey guys, so I decided to mix things up today, and instead of showing you more behind the scenes looks of how I take pictures, I'm going to teach you how to take better pictures with your smartphone. The first and probably most important concept you need to understand to take better pictures is that light is everything. I can't tell you how many times I've been on a trip with friends and family and they'll be like, oh my gosh, Riley, you should take a picture of this amazing scene. Most of the time, it is an amazing scene, but a lot of the time, I don't even bother to pull my camera out. And that's because a pretty scene doesn't always make for a pretty photo. How many times have you snapped a photo on vacation or out at an event just to come back home and find that your photo looks flat, dull, and boring? I can guarantee you it's because you either shot it in poor light or the wrong light. Poor light happens. We have no control over it. It's either because the sun is blocked by the clouds or, there's plenty of other reasons that cause poor light. Now, the wrong light, we do have control over. Now, there are three main types of light I want to teach you about. The first is blue hour, the second, golden hour, and third, postcard light. Now, blue hour, the name is kind of deceiving because it really never is an hour. It's more like 20 minutes half the time. What this time is the first hour before sunrise and the last hour after sunset. It gets the name blue hour because everything is in a soft blue twilight style look. I love shooting in blue hour light, especially when I'm trying to capture foreground for night sky images. The second and most popular is golden hour. I would strongly recommend you always look to shoot in golden hour light. This is the light I primarily shoot in, and most photographers, not even just landscape photographers, prefer this type of light. Golden hour first shows up in the first hour of light in the morning and the last hour of light in the evening. It gets the name because during that time, the light is very soft and gives off almost a golden warm tone in all of the highlights. It is very flattering and very pretty and very easy to work with. Last style of light I want to teach you about is postcard light. If you go to any gas station and try to buy a postcard off the rack, I guarantee the picture is probably shot in this type of light. It's during the time of day where the sun is very high in the sky, creating what I call polar contrast, which means the brightest brights and the darkest darks are at the maximum distance away from each other. It creates a very high dynamic range situation, which is very difficult for smartphones and professional cameras to capture quality images from. The next step in taking awesome smartphone pictures is to add the sense of three-dimensionality to a two-dimension photo. A great photo will consist of a foreground, a midground, and a background. It gives layers and depth to the image. If the subject of your image or the area you want to draw the most focus lies in one specific region, then you want those other two regions to enhance and push your viewer's eye towards your subject. There are a few rules of composition you can follow to help guide your process of finding a good foreground, midground, and background. The first one is called the rule of thirds. Now, to think about the rule of thirds, just imagine a tic-tac-toe board on your camera screen. This tic-tac-toe board gives you an outline of foreground, midground, and background, as well as intersecting points, which are always great places to put something of interest on. When I'm shooting rule of thirds, the main way I'll use it is this. If my sky is my main focus, then I'm gonna put the horizon line on my bottom line of my rule of thirds. If I wanna highlight more of the foreground, then I would put my horizon line on the top part of my rule of thirds. Now, the rule of thirds can be very confining, and I honestly think it is one of the more weaker points of composition, which leads me to the next one. It's called leading lines. A great photograph will always tell the viewer's eye where to go, either using light or using objects to guide you towards your subject. When you're on location and you're trying to use the concept of leading lines, really what you're trying to find is something that points like neon light signs towards your subject. Typically, what I like to do with leading lines is I like to take something that from the bottom part of my image that leads up to my subject. Another idea about leading lines is they can come from anywhere. They can come from the top, bottom, and side. Really, again, anything that points towards your subject is a great leading lines composition. And the last and most used composition by me is called the golden rule. The golden rule is this. It's pretty much a swirling cone, right? You're gonna have something that swirls through your frame and leads you to a point. I'm not gonna get too detailed in it, but a lot of great images use this composition. And the last and most important part of composing a great photograph is change your perspective. Change the viewer's perspective. What I mean by that is this. We are always standing. Men on average around 5'10", right? Women on average probably about 5'5". Now I'm giving you average ideas. So what we do when we take a picture is we usually pull our phone up and we shoot at eye level. So we're constantly always looking at life at that point of view. What I like to do when I take a picture is I like to change the perspective or the point of view by getting really, really low or really, really, really high. So to sum things up, make sure you're planning out your trip a little bit if you can to get the best light in the area. The second thing is understand some compositional techniques, understand how to use them. Now again, I gave you 3 rules and there's so many more for you to look at except for these 3. These are just 3 really easy ones that produce awesome results. And the last thing I like to do is change the perspective of the image. Let us see something through a vantage point we won't often see because we are always seeing through our eyes at the level we are standing. Now I hope you guys enjoyed this and I hope it helps you take some better pictures with your phone. I have some other things planned to help teach you how to take more advanced pictures with your phone. So if you're interested in that, please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and the like button at the bottom of this video and make sure you hit the bell icon so you're notified when I post new content. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section down below. Have a good one, guys.